Hey man, got these trees delivered for you. I'm like 99% sure these aren't HOA approved, but yeah, hopefully Richard doesn't write you up on a fine. I know these were pretty expensive trees. Hopefully he doesn't. Hey man, got these trees delivered for you. I'm like 99% sure these aren't HOA approved, but yeah, hopefully Richard doesn't write you up on a fine. I know these were pretty expensive trees. Hopefully he doesn't see it, but I swear that guy sees everything. Freaking Richard.
Hey bro, dude, no, absolutely not. You are not planting those trees. I don't know where you got them from or who gave them to you or whatever. I don't care. That's not the point. The point is these absolutely way too big. Look at them compared to that. And they don't meet HOA policy at all. Every tree planted has to be approved through the HOA. Those are not approved through the HOA. Got it? No, I don't care how much you paid for them. Do not plant those. Do not plant those. I'm going to repeat it again. Do not plant those. Every tree or plant or bush or whatever planted without the HOA approval is a $74.99 fine. Every plant is. Do not. I repeat, do not plant those. It's a warning. This is a warning. I'm watching out for you.
So I was just about to close on the sale of one of my houses and found out that there was a $382,000 assessment that an HOA put on my property. I never knew this house was even in an HOA. And don't worry, I am not paying that. Nobody told me throughout all these years. I never got an email, never added to a list, never even in the closing documents that I just re-looked at when I bought the house said there was an HOA there. I got no services provided by this HOA. I had my own well, I have my own septic, I get my own mail, there's no gate, there's no trash, like there's nothing. And then all of a sudden when they went to look if there's any liens on the house, sure enough, there were over the last 6 years since I've owned it. I reached out to the so-called HOA because I literally thought it was a scam and I was like, who are you? And why have you never bothered to even try to contact me once? Didn't get a response to that, but like I said, this was never in my closing documents. I don't even know when this HOA was formed, so I ain't paying shit. Because it's literally, I would obviously lose a lot of money on this. I don't have that much equity in the house, only about $170K. But safe to say we're not closing on the house just yet.
A $3 million price cut with a $4,000 monthly HOA. This downtown SF condo has been sitting on the market for over 200 days and it's just not selling. They started the listing in September of last year for at $7 million. And of course, it wasn't going to sell, so they started cutting the price. Down to 6, then 5, then 4.5, and now it's finally at 4. Funnily enough, the tax assessment on this property has actually been sky high because normally tax assessments are lower than market value, sometimes a lot lower. But for this specific property, the tax assessment, which is what the property tax bill is based off of, has been over $7 million since 2019. That's a $100,000 property bill at the end of each year, and you've got your $45,000 annual HOA on top of that. SF is crazy.
And owns a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo here at the Winter Park Woods. She says since buying the unit in 2022, she's put a lot of work into the space.
Renovated it, gutted both bathrooms, gutted the kitchen, repainted everything, redid all the trim, the doors, everything.
During that time, she says their HOA fees have skyrocketed. In the meantime, they haven't seen any significant improvements around the property.
The HOA fees, what were they when you moved in?
$400 a month.
And what are they now?
$2,081 going into 2025.
Alexander Austriaco is a retiree who also lives at the complex. He's seen similar increases and says he may have to go back to work to cover the cost.
I think it's over 2 years I haven't been working in IT, so that's sometimes they don't like that.
Insurance expert Carl Sussman says the steep increases mainly come from new state regulations in the wake of the Surfside building collapse. HOAs must now keep much more money on hand to cover infrastructure improvements and repairs.
It inspector comes out and says, look, we have to shear the building up. We have to do other types of upgrades and improvements to bring it to code to be more weather resistant, then the HOA is basically forced to have to go forward with that, which means a lot of money to the individual homeowners.
Sussman says owners should get more involved with their HOAs to have a say over which inspectors and contractors get hired and the costs they charge for their service.
Yep, she's right. She ain't wrong. The HOAs on a lot of condos and townhomes creates even worse affordability problems. A lot of people are like, yeah, let's go look at a townhome. And then they see that it's $450 a month, sometimes higher, a little bit lower. But that, like extra $450 or $500 or whatever you're paying, like if you added that to your payment, it would be like getting a payment for maybe a house, $80,000 to $100,000 higher. So then maybe that puts you in a single family home category. So this is a real problem. It comes up all the time, and she ain't wrong. This is true. So yeah, them HOA dues can get you.
This is how it is. If you don't like it, move out.
It's ridiculous. Nobody got violent. We're simply talking.
Furious community members say the meeting escalated when the HOA board told residents their monthly fee would increase to $350 a month.
The issue is that the HOA fee is going up for the second time in 1 year, and we were given short notice about the increase, and a lot of things on the new budget don't make sense.
Resident Zoe Sosa says one of the things that doesn't make sense is how residents are still paying auto insurance for the security cars that canvass the community when security is now riding around in golf carts.
We haven't seen any refund from the previous budget showing what happened with the cars, what happened with the maintenance of the cars, and what's going on.
In addition to the price hike in security, residents say there's broken amenities, cars getting constantly towed, and violent crimes happening in the neighborhood. But these residents tell us when they bring these problems up to the HOA, it falls on deaf ears.
They discredit me. They tell me, basically go away. This is how it is. If you don't like it, move out.
HOAs are going out of fucking control. And in condos, it's even worse because number one, special assessments are jacking these prices up and jacking up a lot of these other things. But here's the other thing. My homeowner insurance went up 40% last year. Because just like California and Louisiana, the major insurance companies are pulling out of the state. And that consolidates it to smaller localized companies, even if they're state-backed, and they jack up those premiums. In a condo, you pay for homeowner insurance for the inside. So now you have homeowner insurance for your condo on the inside that you pay that's already gone up in price. But the outside is paid for out of the HOA. Well, the problem is that some of these insurance companies that have pulled out have left a void. And the insurance on some of these HOAs has gone from, $250,000 per year to $700,000 per year. Well, guess what? Who do you think pays for that? HOA. So if these HOAs for some of these people have already gone from $200 a month up to $500 or $600 a month, you're talking about there's people that are having actual fist fights at HOA condo associations here in South Florida. If it goes from $200 to $600 a month, you're now adding $5,000 a year to somebody on fixed income. Well, if you've got $500,000 in your insurance going up, that's going to jump the HOA another $400, $500, $600 a month. So now you're talking over $1,000 per month. So you've gone from a fixed income person paying $2,400 a year in HOA to $12,000 a year in HOA.
Yeah, HOA fees is another thing I really hate in America, especially in places like New York. Whenever I fuck around on Zillow, New York, I find these apartments that are extremely cheap. I know already there's gonna be an astronomical HOA fee. Because the average rent in Italy is around 1,000 euros, $1,000, let's say this. You'd be surprised by how many apartments in New York have an HOA fee that is higher than that. The mortgage is actually lower than the HOA fee. And you know that the HOA fee is gonna go up every single year. Which I ask myself, what the fuck do you pay $1,000 to $10,000 a month in HOA fees? If you're in a luxury environment, okay, pool, gym, everything included, you don't have to do anything, they have everything. Okay, that's one thing. If you're in an apartment from the 1950s, you have a $1,000 HOA fee, they have absolutely fucking nothing. I ask myself, where does that money go to? What are they using it for? To maintain a property. It doesn't even have a lawn. It doesn't even have a terrace. Where does that money go to? What does the HOA do with it? Invest it? That's what pisses me off about this country sometimes, in terms of real estate.
What have we here? Dear non-HOA member, immediate repainting of house required. This is to inform you that your brown painted house is repulsive and completely unacceptable. It clashes with the uniform appearance of our community's white painted houses just down the street. This color discrepancy is disruptive and negatively impacts the aesthetic harmony of our neighborhood HOA. We demand that you repaint your house to match the white color scheme immediately, at your expense. Of course, because why would they pay for it? Your failure to comply with this request will not be tolerated, and we will explore all available options to ensure that our community standards are upheld in and around gated community. This matter requires your urgent attention. Sincerely, local gated community council members. Right.